So in the previous episode, I said that in the next episode, we'd be able to build a world eater. Which is this episode. And don't you worry, we got it done. Wait, why are the blocks like this? Ah, yes, much better. Wait, where was I? Ah, right. So we did actually build a world eater in this episode. But of course, I'm not going to show that to you right now, because that would defeat the purpose. But of course, before we could build the world eater, we needed to gather the materials for it. So we did some off-camera mining.
Not the cap.
So yeah, then we collected all the materials, and I crafted for about 30 minutes straight. Ooh, look, a portal. Oh, by the way, for anybody who follows my Twitch, you might have noticed that I haven't been... Wait, why do I not have any game sounds? You know, I don't understand. I launch in a fabric loader, and all my sounds are fine, but then I launch in Optifine, and it's like, hey, let me just shut it all off. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, you probably noticed I haven't been streaming, recently. That's mainly because I just haven't really felt like it, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, but if you were wondering why I haven't been streaming recently, that's why. But now you get to watch me craft for 30 minutes.
Psych!
So as I was crafting up all these items, I was noticing how much the world was going to take, and it was starting to scare me, because I was like, how much are we going to need? So I loaded up the schematic for the world eater, with the mod Lightmatica, and I am right now checking to see how much larger my schematic is in the actual area we're mining out. I'm hoping it's a lot. Alright, so this is where it ends. It ends right here. I'd say about a quarter, so I guess we can take a quarter off all of the materials we actually need, which is actually an insane amount now that I think about it. Wow, that's awesome. Oh, there's a quick disclaimer, this is not actually the height we're going to build the world eater, it's going to be built up much higher, and I might have to do some testing with the trench, because as you can see, it's a little bit, close, I guess we can say. I don't know if that'll be an issue at all. No. There are way too many time lapses in this video. So instead, you get to hear my voice. Really trying to think of things to talk about. I haven't really done this before. What about I talk about plans for the server? Yeah. So if we obviously want to build the witch farm, I mean, it's literally what we're doing in this video. But we also want to do some other long-term projects. We definitely want to build a faster XP farm than just an Enderman farm. Probably a Guardian farm with an ocean perimeter. We're thinking about actually digging out manually and making it a circle because it's mostly water. Not really sure how this is going to go. And you might be asking why it's necessary. The real reason is because why not? We're also thinking about making a massive perimeter at spawn and remove all the spawn chunks. I mean, we were saying the reason is because we could make a passive mob farm and maybe use the spawn chunks for other stuff. But it's really just because it looks cool. Like, again, let's just be honest here. Right, I'm starting to see a trend. Okay. Other topics. Ah, yes, 1.17. So far as of... Wait, what's the date? The 18th of February. This update looks so cool. I'm a little concerned about the spawning rates being decreased because of lower Y level. If I remember correctly, a witch farm would produce about half the amount just because the world is lower. And that's in perimeter conditions. Even if... Let's just say the way they convert the world is that you keep the bedrock where it is and then there's just a drop off. So let's say like our perimeter we're building right now, the rates would still be halved even though there's just void underneath. It's a little concerning, but I could live with it. Okay, so I have no idea how to end one of these monologues. Is that what you call it? So I think I just will. But now that we have all the resources we need, let's start building. Don't ask me how, but I lost the original video of my original reaction to the World Eater running for the first time. It's a very sad day. But I can still sum it up. So basically, it launched fine, we thought it did, but then we ran into a couple problems. The good thing is I still have the recording of me troubleshooting the problems. Again, don't ask how. So I'm looking at the replay and the replay mod, and it looks like the issue for this sweeper here is that the second half didn't get pushed down because we have an observer placed wrong here. Maybe a piston. It might be a piston. It's kind of hard to tell. I think I noticed this right away, but this one is because we forgot one singular terracotta block. That was pretty easy to fix. And then over here, this half didn't take back off. And the reason that this half didn't take off over here, this portion, is because we missed a slime block right here, it looks like. These are all really easy fixes, and honestly, I think I can go fix that right now and see how it goes. Yeah, here it is. We forgot to place a piston right here. Really does show you how fragile these machines are. And yep, here is the broken slime block. Man, it's crazy how we actually punch out one block and the entire thing breaks. So I've been flying around a little bit and I've noticed that all of the terracotta blocks are in place. So it's not that we're missing a terracotta, it's something else. So this is right in the moment where the flying machine keeps going. I'm not 100% sure which one it is, that's why I have it moving so slowly, but this should make it very easy to see which ones we miss. It's this one right here. It actually pulled the terracotta block with it. I figured it out. This TNT duper was actually not even running. There's not even a coral piece here. We must have missed the coral or something. So that means that it didn't hit the push limit, so it kept going. Alright, I finally found it. Yeah, we just completely forgot to put a coral fan there. Wow, wow. Alright, I hope everything's fixed. Let's give it a second try. FPS drop time. Oh yeah, there we go. I'm gonna get killed by that. Alright, I can now lock the piston again, and let's see if anything is breaking. So we did make it down to sea level, which was nice. It only took about like an hour. We ran into a couple of issues here and there. We had to remove a TNT duper right there because it actually blew up part of the machine, and to restore from a backup, it was a yikes fest, right? But we ran into a new issue. So if we come over here, you can probably see it. Most of the sweepers never made it to the back, and that's because the TNT is not strong enough to take out 2 of the blocks on this trench. So it can't break anything basically past right here. We could just let it stop and then keep manually starting it over and over again, but I think I should just remove these blocks, to be completely honest. I think it's easier, like with the Haste 2 beacon, I don't think it would be that bad, to be honest. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Well, that's it. The World Eater's done. This looks insane. This is really, really cool. Now, sadly, it wasn't all fun and games. The World Eater got stuck multiple... Is that stuck? Oh, God. Oh, no. The World Eater got stuck so many times. I don't even know how to describe it. Turns out that we really didn't have the right size trenches. It was way off. There was a lot of manual digging, and then we missed a block over there, and it got stuck, and then the entire thing broke, and I spent hours. So if you're wondering why the time-lapse was so choppy and... really, it wasn't the entire process. It's because, well, I was repairing the World Eater like the entire time. I mean, the amount of times I had to restore to a backup, man. Yeah, but in the end, totally worth it. You should see the amount of diamonds we got. It's ridiculous. Ah, yes, just a normal day after digging out a perimeter. I'm not gonna lie, that's a little bit of diamonds. Yeah, we still have these lava pools left, and of course we have some blocks that were protected by the lava. We might run the World Eater again, because as you can see, hence the problem with the trench. The trenches are one block too high, so we're gonna have to mine that away anyway, so we might just run the World Eater one more time to go over this and remove all the lava. But then we go down more than 2 blocks, and then we're debating if it's worth it, because we have to fill this in at some point. But first, now that the World Eater has completely finished with the perimeter, it is time to design the witch farm. And that was supposed to be a slick transition, but I just gotta say it, this looks so cool. So here's the witch farm design we're gonna go with. It was initially designed by Ilmeko. Shocker. But I did make a couple changes of it so it works better for what we want on the server. So really the only thing we did is we added this on-off switch which turns on some lights and turns off this clock, and we redesigned it a bit so we use quartz and stuff just to go with the color scheme instead of having like normal stone slabs. But yeah, I should probably show you how this farm works, because this probably just looks like a bunch of redstone parts jumbled together in a weird box area. So basically the way this farm works is that we have the witch hut bounding box here, which is a 7 by 9 by 7. So we have the first spawning layer, the second spawning layer, and then the third spawning layer, 9 across, and 7 wide. So when the witches spawn, they are hit by a tripwire hook, which extends a piston, which powers a block, which then powers this piston. Now, there's a couple things that can happen. It could immediately, right here, move the piston, but sometimes the witches get stuck. So if they get stuck, the hopper clock in the back will cycle it until the witch leaves the tripwire hook, and then the piston will retract. Now you might be asking why the floor is moving and the witches are just straight up falling through it. So I slowed the current rate down so you can see this. When a witch spawns, you can see that the soul sand is actually slightly lower than a full block. So when the witch lands, it triggers and its feet glitch into the ground and it falls through. And that's seriously how the entire farm works. So if you're wondering about rates of the farm, I only did like a 3-minute AFK. We got 4,200 items per hour, and you can see all of the rest here. I mean, this is just beautiful. This is basically the peak efficiency you can get of a witch farm. I think the only problem is that our witch farm isn't quite optimal. It generates at Y66, not 64. So we have slightly slower rates. So it'll probably be more like 4,000 items an hour, but I am completely content with this design. It works so well. So when we were designing the floor for the perimeter, we were starting to realize how many blocks this was going to take. Like, it was even difficult with commands and creative to place it all. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to patch up all the holes with all of this stone I have in my inventory. And then I'm going to sweeper over all this lava. And then I think I'm just going to flood the entire thing. But I think I'm going to have to end the episode here. We made a lot of progress in the witch farm project. Like, a lot of progress, but there's still so much left to do that I need to get this video out at some point, so I'm gonna have to save all that extra grindy stuff for the between episodes or for the next one. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the building of this magnificent machine right behind me.